This episode of Pro Membership Sweepstakes, Hunt and Fish Like the Pros, is brought to you by Browning, Outdoor Edge Knives, and ALPS Outdoors. Welcome to this episode of Pro Membership Sweepstakes, Hunt and Fish Like the Pros. On this episode, we're headed to Colorado with a good buddy of mine, Johnny Hamilton. I met Johnny hunting on the Hill Ranch. He guides and outfits on the Hill Ranch, but he has his own operation as well, Eagle Outfitters, and then all of our riding around and talking, he said he had a really good lease out east of Trinidad, and there were some really good bucks. They've seen some good bulls. It's being managed really well, and just providing a little opportunity there. So when we knew that we were going to do a recruiting member drive and bonus, I love big giant mule deer, love seeing lots of them. And when you're on 10,000 private acres like that, that's just something pretty special to me. So I said, game on, let's put it together. Stick around, this is gonna be a good show.
Hi, my name's Kevin Stimke, Aztec, New Mexico, pro membership member since probably inception, 4 or 5 years. Can't thank Mike enough for what he does for us. I mean, he's giving away quality hunts that, otherwise common Joes probably aren't gonna get to make.
Kevin is actually an outfitter, or was an outfitter, that we did stuff with when we had Sportsman's News 17, 18 years ago, and he guides elk up there in Wyoming as well as lived in New Mexico, so has killed a lot of elk. So to say that we're more than acquaintances is pretty special. So when I saw his name come out of the drum, I'm always excited to give every trip away, but when it's somebody you've already been in the field with and have a good time, something's kind of special, a little bit of razzing back and forth, it was going to be a good time. And like I said, he's a great hunter, he's killed a lot of elk, but mule deer has kind of eluded him where he's been, so this was kind of going to be focused on mule deer, even though we had the ability to shoot both a deer and an elk on this trip.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. When selecting your next new rifle or shotgun, remember that only one road leads to long-lasting performance and value. That's the way to Browning, and it will make all the difference. Browning, the best there is.
We're in Colorado, and Colorado structures their seasons as a first season, second season, third season, and a fourth season. We're hunting third season. With the 5-year season structures here in Colorado, this is a pretty late hunt. We're latter part of November. That's really great for the deer, but a little bit of problem for the elk. They're done bugling, the bulls have broke off into their bachelor herds or individuals and stuff, and they're in the thick timber. So when you lay eyes on a bull, immediately it's get down, get the spotting scopes on them, see what it is. And man, when you see a bull, you got to kind of question, is it good enough to shoot? And Kevin killed a lot of big bulls. So this bull that we're looking at, he is a little bit small, and one of the things you're looking at is a monster canyon, super bad pack out, and we still got days. Like I said, we're focused on deer. So being on 10,000 acres here, and with the rut kicking in, we are seeing tons of deer every day. And a new buck could show up at any point in time. So when you've got good bucks basically in your back pocket, and you can shop through those deer, you got good morning hunts, good afternoon hunts, you're just waiting for that one hot doe to come in and give you that opportunity that pulls in that big giant monster off of the top of the plateau or out of that thick timber. We see a couple of bucks off of the side of the road on our property, and drive by, and this buck lifts up his head. He's got 40 inches of mass. He's a big deep 4 buck, and immediately everybody goes into kill mode. That's the shooter we've been waiting for. But as with all big bucks, you know what? The minute they know something's going on and you're in kill mode, he's playing hide and seek, and he does not want to go home to New Mexico for sure. This buck and his buddy blew out of there, up over the top of the road, and back down, fortunately, into another piece of property that we have the ability to hunt. Great part about private and big giant parcels like that. So we get set up on the hill and start looking in this old dry lake bed, and sure enough, out walks these 2 bucks. It's a long shot, and one thing that we didn't quite see was the wind, because we're over a little hill, the wind's coming from another direction, we're a little bit blocked from it. And Kevin got laid down, got on sticks. He's a good long range shooter, shoots a lot, but when you don't account for wind, when you're 500 yards, it's gonna play havoc. And I had to give Kevin a little bit of a hard time for missing. That's a pretty good buck. That's the one we've been waiting for. So I'm known for rubbing a little salt in the wound when I'm hunting with a buddy.
Didn't give him enough wind, huh?
No, you missed probably 10, 12 inches from being a really good shot, and you were a hair low.
So when you're hunting, coyotes are always a target. They're a huge predator for the fawn population. And hey, when you've missed a big buck, there's nothing like building your confidence, putting the hammer down on a good coyote, hey, putting a good hide on the wall. Unfortunately, you gotta hit him to make that happen too. You wanna go back to town, get some more bullets, or are you good?
For the hardest places to hunt, you need razor-sharp, reliable knives. For over 10 years, Pat and Nicole have depended on one brand to get the job done fast: Outdoor Edge.
Well, sorry about the harassment, Kev, but in all seriousness, you know, it was back onto the deer hunt, up into the thick timber, and here we're another day later. And lo and behold, seems like every buck is rutting. There's few hot does around. Every deer we see has got multiple bucks on it and pushing, and it didn't take long. We found a heavy horn buck, extra points, kickers, and that's all it took for Kevin to go into go time.
He's paying attention where to help the shoot. I don't know what he is. No, he's a really good four on one side.
Yeah,
And the other
I
side's
saw him
good.
get something extra on the left.
Yeah, like a couple extra points.
So apparently we just need to have an 80-yard shot.
Just move that decimal one over. That's a cool deer. And he's old too.
I really don't know what to say. I really don't. I mean, it's been a pleasure being up here, and you know, I mean, this is the real deal. You know, Mike runs a fair business, and you know, these drawings are, you know, are what he's advertising. I mean, there's no gimmicks. There's nothing after the fact. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he's giving away good hunts, and you know, you guys need to join and get your buddies to join.
I don't go with all of the hunters, but Kevin, I've known him for literally 15 years. He knew about the sweepstakes, became a member, and he's one of those guys that calls me all the time and asks, is my name even in the drum? So your name's in the drum, man.
Proof is in the pudding.
Congratulations. It was a pleasure to get to hunt with you
bet.
once again. I'll say this, Kevin had been a member since inception, because he was one of the very first people that knew about this, and he had never ever won anything whatsoever in a 5-year period of time. So it's exciting for people like that. Hey, it's a reason to stay in the game, get it done, and Kevin definitely killed the biggest buck of his life. This is why we created the pro membership sweepstakes, so you get to hunt and fish like the pros. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.